Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a blessed day. Today is June 26, 2023. I'm Ricky Gaspard. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to create this Market watch list. This is my most important tool in the whole ThinkorSwim setup. It allows me to monitor all of my watch list or scans in one place just by going here and changing to whichever one I want to look at. So there's a lot to this watch list. This video may be a little lengthy, but there's a lot of coding to it. There's a code here, there's a code here, there's code here, here, and there's code here. And I'm going to include all of the codes below the video. And we're going to take it one step at a time so we can get this done as quick as possible. But it does take some time to get it done correctly. You can always pause the video if you need to stop, go back, review what I just did. And that said, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of this so that you can follow along from the start. And you go over here and click this little gear icon in the corner, and it's going to pull up this window. And we'll go ahead and take all of them out. And the first thing we're going to do is type in symbol. And we're going to move it over, and it's going to be the first one in the list. The next one is the V-spike, and you're going to need to copy the code below the video. I've labeled each one of them so you don't get confused. And what you're going to have to do is come over here and type custom. And I'll let you know right up front, I don't have any customs left. I've used all of them. So what you really need to do is move over, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 custom slots over into this window. And so the first one is the V-spike, and let me pull it up here. Yours is going to say custom, but you're going to click on this little tablet, and up here you're going to name it % V-spike in 1 minute and include extended hours trading, and you're going to paste the V-spike code right here. If there's something in here, delete it, and then click apply and OK, and your V-spike will be next. And the next thing I have is I don't use last as the price. I use mark because mark shows up in pre-market, and I don't have to keep switching back and forth from daytime trading to pre-market trading. So you're going to type in mark and move mark over. You can just double click here and it'll move it over. And the next one is mark % change, which is right here, and move it over. Then you're going to take your second custom and you're going to click on the tablet. Let me find mine. So it's going to be called custom, but you're going to click on your second custom, click on this tablet, and you're going to call this gap and run. And you're going to put it on day, and you're going to copy the gap and run text below this video, and you're going to paste it right here. And if you hear some background noise, it's live trading today, so I'm kind of watching the market at the same time. So gap and run, day, paste the code, click apply and OK, and you should have gap and run here. So on the next custom, let's see where the next one is. The next one is 1 minute chart. Of course, you're going to be clicking on custom. So I'm going to move my 1 minute chart over, and you're going to click on your tablet next to custom, and you're going to copy the code that says 1 minute chart down below the video, and you're going to paste it here. And you're going to type in 1 minute chart up here and put it on 1 minute. So if you notice, I have 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute. So you're going to select, after you save this one, you're going to select your next custom. This would be mine, and you're going to click on the tablet, and you're going to paste the same code that's below the video, but up here, you're going to type in 5 minute chart and put the time on 5 minute and include extended hours. Click apply and OK. And you're going to do the same thing for the 15 minute. Click on your next custom, paste the same code, but up here call it 15 minute chart and change the time to 15. And that's going to give you these 3 items here. So without having to go check your 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute chart, it's going to change colors. Like if the 1 minute chart is not a green candle, it could be yellow, which means it's probably consolidating, or red, which means it's going down. So all 3 green is good. It means it's been climbing for 15 minutes, or it's been climbing for 5 minutes, or it's been climbing for 1 minute. And it's going to monitor all of the stocks as you change watch list over here. So the next thing I have in there is volume. So type in volume here, select volume here, double click it and move it over. Then I have relative volume. So it's going to track all the relative volumes for any stock you pull up when you change it over here. So RVol, let's find it, which is right here, and you're going to click on, you're going to copy the RVol text under the video, click on this little tablet, and you're going to paste it right here, and you're going to call it RVol and leave it on day, and apply and OK. And then the last thing is shares. You can put it if you want. If you don't want it, don't put it. And then you click shares. So they should be in this order: symbol, percent spike, mark, percent change, gap and run, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, volume, relative volume, and shares. And that'll give you all of these columns here. So what makes this good is that if you tried to do it over here, let me show you. I got to cancel this out. So if you try to set all of this up over here in the side watch list, you're going to end up with a watch list that's this long. So it's not going to be too convenient for you to do it over here. I just find it easier to click on Market Watch tab up here. It's already set up like I like it. You can see these are all green. So if I click on here and go to chart, then we have green candles. So you can go through all of your watch list. Let's say I have a relative volume that's 3 times the average volume. And it pulls up all of those stocks, and you can see here there's a red candle on the 1 minute, probably consolidating on the 5 and the 15. I don't see, I see one of them that's all green, which is right here. So it's real convenient. You can check the relative volume here. And if you don't know what relative volume is, this one's trading at 5.83 times its average volume from previous. Over here you can monitor the spikes as they happen. And this gap and run, I'm going to go ahead and include the video down below. I mean, not the video, the scan down below. It's going to be a link to the scan, and it's going to be called Gap and Run, which is right here. And what these are is this Gap and Run is going to measure how close this stock's price is to the daily high. So the stock will gap up at open, then it's going to measure how close it is to the high, and it's going to throw a number down here in the 90s or 80s. And the higher this number, the more chance that stock has of gapping up and continuing to climb the rest of the day. Let me see if I can check one here, and I always sort mine by mark percent change. So let's see if I can pull up a sample. You can see this stock gapped up, and it rose, and it fell, and then it rose. Let's try another one. This stock gapped it open, but then it fell. But it's going to find all of these stocks. This gap scan is going to keep you on top of all of them all day long. So there's one more step to this gap and run. And it's pretty good. If you're using the pullback strategy like I always do, you can actually create another scan. Well, you should already have the pullback scan. Let's see if I can find it. If you're using the pullback strategy, you should have a pullback scan. And whichever one of these you're using, whether it be the 1 minute, 15 minute, or 5 minute, I always use the 5 minute. And I took this scan, and instead of searching all stocks, I went over here and told it to search in my gap and run and find all of the stocks that are pulling back that are located in the gap and run. And let me go ahead and put that scan. This is how you do it, though. You change where you're scanning in to gap and run after you load that gap and run scan. So I'm going to change over to it. And then after you do this, save it. Let me pull mine up to make this a little easier. So if you've already loaded the pullback strategy, then you pull up your pullback scan, and you're going to change this to gap and run. Then you're going to save it as gap and run watch list. So this scan is actually scanning this scan. And what it's going to do is going to find all of the stocks that are gapping up or pulling back in your gap and run scan. If that makes any sense, you're using a scan to scan a scan. I know it sounds difficult, but this is how you find things in ThinkorSwim. A lot of people don't know you can scan a scan with another scan. So I hope you don't get lost. If you do, just keep watching this video. You'll figure it out. So let's take a look at this. So here it's going to pull up the green arrows that have pulled back and then starting to climb, but these stocks came from the gap and run scan. So it's going in and finding all the pullbacks in the gap and run scan. And this is why I like using this Market Watch tab. It's just, you just can't do it over here on the side. But I have all the information I need right here. I have my RVOL, my 15, 5, and 1 minute charts, my gap and run numbers, percent change, my mark, and my spike. So just make sure that when you set that up to scan, for this scan to scan this one, call it the gap and run watch list, because you're actually scanning another scan. Hope this works for y'all. It can get difficult. I've been doing this for many years and figured out things like this. Sometimes it's even difficult for me, but if you keep watching this video, you'll soon figure out everything that you can. And if you don't want some of these items up here, you don't have to put them. I just don't like going to check each chart to see if the stock has been climbing for 15 minutes or 5 or 1. I can see that here. So once I'm watching the scan that I want to watch, all I have to do is just monitor this one page. So let's see what this one's doing. It's looking good. Now it's late in the day. These stocks probably aren't going far, but if you start in the morning with this gap and run watch list scan, you'll be able to find all of these stocks that trend up all day long. It's going to keep you with a good list of stocks. However, we're in a bear market. Don't expect a whole bunch of things to climb very high. And problem number 2 is it's the summertime. There's people on vacation. Volume is very low in the stock market right now. And I guess you probably have already figured that out, because after about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, it seems like everything just dies. So I'm going to include the ThinkorSwim links for these scans. And I'm pretty sure that that'll work for you. And if later, if I get comments that the scans aren't working, I'll go ahead and make another video and paste the code to these scans. But I think they're going to work just fine for you. Most of them are one-liner codes, which makes it easy to do. And maybe I'll include them in the bottom of the video. I've got a lot to do yet to get all this together, but I'll get it uploaded as soon as possible. Enjoy, take your time, have a great trading day, and God bless.